If you do not have all of these 7 habits, it will be almost impossible to succeed in trading. These are the habits I learned from the best traders and my own experience. These habits will improve your skills, mindset and trading results. Let me tell you something first about habits. You probably heard it, it takes 60 days to form a new habit. Well, if I can ask you, hey, eat a chocolate every morning, how hard would it for you be to eat chocolate every morning? How hard would it for you be to create a habit to eat pizza while watching television? How hard would it for you to create a habit? Do you need 60 days? I don't think so. So with that in mind, let's start with habit number 1, and that is self-discipline. This is something you need to have as a trader. But the thing is, self-discipline is not so good understood. You probably think self-discipline equals willpower, but that is totally not the case. If I tell you, you should be more disciplined, what does it mean for you? Because the thing most people do not understand about self-discipline, it are the people who seem that they have the most self-discipline actually need the least amount of willpower. They're not thinking, oh, to resist all of these temptations. They design their life in such a way that they don't even have to consider temptations. They design their life in such a way that doing the right thing is easy. Let me give you an example of my own life. Every morning I take a 5-minute cold shower. I do not want to take a 5-minute cold shower because it's cold. So my first struggle block, when I wake up, I check my phone. Then I go out of bed, I have to go to the cold shower. So I waste time. That's friction area number 1, my phone. So how do I fix it? I put my phone next to the shower, and when I open my phone, the timer is ready. So if I want to waste time on my phone right now, I have to go to the shower, close the timer and start wasting time. This is never what I do because I'm already in the shower, the timer is already there, I can just press start and bam. I don't use my willpower here. It becomes so much easier to do the right things if you design your life in that way. Now, a second thing to be more disciplined is removing mental resistance. Same idea. When a task is right in front of you, often you think, oh my god, this is so much, I don't even want to get started. I stay so long on my phone because I don't want to be the full 5 minutes in the shower. Just 5 minutes. What if I tell myself, if I trick my brain, let's not do it for 5 minutes, let's do it for 30 seconds. Resistance goes away. Instead of telling yourself, let's not work out for an hour, let's for just 5 minutes. Because from the moment you start working out, then it becomes very unlikely you will stop. The moment I am 10 seconds under the cold shower, then I'm already committed to do the full 5 minutes. The less you have to use your willpower, the better. Some studies have shown that we have a limited resource of willpower in our mind. And the more we use the resource of willpower, the less we have left. Now, very important to notice, there are follow-up studies being done and they say if you believe that you have a limited resource of willpower, you will have a limited resource of willpower. But people who believe they have an unlimited resource of willpower, they have an unlimited resource of willpower. But for me, it doesn't matter. Using your willpower is hard. Why make it harder on yourself? You change your environment. It is way easier to be disciplined. So why put all that effort into willpower? An example was during the Vietnam War. A lot of soldiers were addicted. It was so bad that around 93% of the soldiers, take a guess, of those 93% of soldiers, how many were still addicted when they came to the US? Only around 5% stayed addicted. And that is because their surrounding changed, their environment changed. They were not reminded anymore of their cues of addiction and they could quit easily. The whole research about addiction totally changed. So please, if you want to be more disciplined, in anything in your life, in your trading. Look for yourself. Where do I make the mistakes? What are the cues that trigger me make the mistakes? How can I make it for myself as difficult as possible to do the wrong thing and as easy as possible of doing the right thing? And then we come with the second one, is controlling your emotions. As a trader, you have to control your emotions. There is no doubt about that. In the end, the market is always right. But then the question is, how can you learn to control your emotions? Well, there are 3 easy things you can do to do that. So if you look at the armed forces, if you look at firemen, if you look at F1 drivers, if you look at pilots, how can they stay calm under those stressful situations? Are they some kind of superhumans? Some magical potion that they can withstand all stress? Answer is, they are just humans, but they have one kind of secret, and that is practice. Before a pilot goes into a crash, they practice. They practice in a flight simulator. They lived so many different experiences. They kept on practicing the hardest situations, the hardest crashes, so they know exactly what to do when the time is there. That is how you learn. In the army, they practice extreme drills, so when they need to perform, they can perform. If you want to stay calm, you have to practice your setups. Keep on practicing. Practice them in a simulator. Practice, 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 so you know you can trust yourself in every situation. But unfortunately, it's very hard to put yourself in the most extreme situations with simulated trading. Therefore, the second thing you can do is visualization. And this is not just a random voodoo word I'm telling you here. It is a strategy that is being used by top performers, by the best athletes in the world. It is used by high-level traders, and there's even scientific studies being done that this strategy works tremendously. So what you need to do is imagine yourself trading right in front of your screen and put yourself in scenarios and stay calm. It can be a loss, and imagine yourself losing and losing, but every time you take the right setup, every time you act right, and every time you have peace, and in the same way see yourself winning and not taking profits, and see this big open profit and keep on acting right according to your strategy. My focus point when I do my visualization as my trade preparation, I imagine myself acting right when things don't go as I want, and I imagine myself doing the right thing, staying calm when things do go right. If you visualize these scenarios, you create new neural pathways in your brain, and it goes as far as a physical level. If you imagine flexing your right arm, just visualizing it, that this arm actually becomes stronger than the left arm. Studies have been done. And the third thing you can do is starting to recognize your triggers. See, when do I start trading bad? Because from trading good to trading tilt, there are a lot of steps in between. Write down your emotions. Make a difference between fear, greed, anger, because you come from a little bit frustration, more frustration, and doing revenge trading. If you can stop yourself when you're a little bit frustrated, it's gonna be way easier to keep on going. Habit number 3 is learning from your mistakes. Your mistakes are not bad. Making mistakes is good. Now you know what not to do. This is the part where you can learn, where you can improve, where you can go further. First I was always angry on myself, and I punished myself for making just some mistakes. It's like, I know better. But don't be angry, it's okay. You make mistakes. Move on, learn from that. It's great. Write down your mistakes. And over time you will make less and less and less mistakes. Different kind of mistakes. And this is why it's so important to journal. Keep track of every single trade. Write down what you did wrong, write down how you felt, review them weekly and review them monthly. Because if you cannot learn from your mistakes, if you do not have a track record, how can you improve? If you don't know what you did in the past, how do you know that you make improvements? Whenever you find mistakes, think to yourself, why do I make this mistake? What is the underlying problem? What triggered me to do this mistake? Because the things you don't realize is emotions are not bad. Emotions during trading are bad. No, they are amazing. They are signals, they are indicators you can use. There was this very successful trader and he used his emotions as an indicator. He said, I'm doing the exact opposite of my emotions because if I feel this, then other people are feeling this as well. So use your emotions as indicators. They don't tell you what you should do, but you can notice of yourself, oh my god, I'm afraid here. That means I have to do the opposite. So figure out your underlying problem. How do you feel? How do you act? And reprogram your mind on acting right in those situations. That can be through practice and visualization. Right now you have the tools to fix it. Habit number 4 is making a plan. And I will steal right now a quote of Humble Trader. She says, plan your trades and trade your plan. It's as easy as that. Because if you do not plan your trades, you will be like a headless chicken running around. You also do not make life decisions when you are under the influence of alcohol. When you're in a trade, it becomes way harder to focus. So you have to be your own boss, but also your own employee. Before your trading day, as your preparation, before you execute, you have to know when will you enter, when will you exit, what will I do when I'm wrong, and what will I do when I'm right. And you have to execute that no matter what happens. Also remember, in trading, also in life in general, good periods do not last, losing periods do not last either. A flaw in our human brains is that we think our current situation will last forever. When we are running on a winning streak, we're like, oh, we're gonna win forever. That is false. When we're on a losing streak, we think, oh my god, we will keep losing forever. That is false as well. The only way to succeed in the long term, if you have a plan and execute it, something that will work in the long term, and it doesn't matter if you feel like it or if you don't feel like it, just execute your plan. With habit number 5, and that is act in line with your values. Know your values. But first I want you to know this quote from Nietzsche. And this quote was popularized by a Holocaust survivor. He who has the why to live for can almost bear anyhow. Anything that is worthwhile, anything you want to accomplish, anything you want to reach, becoming a trader, starting a business, having your perfect body, there will be pain involved. It will hurt. There will be moments you want to give up. But where do you keep your strength? How do you act? Who are you? That is the thing you need to answer for yourself. Who are you? What do you stand for? So please write down your values and read them every single day. If you wonder, these are my values. I am disciplined. I'm loving growth. I'm resilient. I am focused. I'm honest. I'm patient. I'm healthy. I'm grateful. I'm responsible. These are my values. And especially when I have a difficult time, I read them and I remind myself of who I am. This is what keeps me grounded. Know who you are and act in that way. Habit number 6. That is focus. Know where. That is focus. And we will split it into 2 parts. Where to focus on and how to focus. So with anything in your life you want to accomplish is you have to focus 100% on yourself. Never compare yourself with somebody else there. Somebody else is running their race. You are running your own race. Any person, you have to look up to on is yourself. Who would you be if you put for 5 years in the hard work? Who would that person be? Let that person be your hero. Your future self can be proud of you. That your future self can tell to you, I'm so glad you did this. I'm so glad that you put in the hard work. I'm so glad that you didn't give up. I'm so glad that you treat people with love and respect. Be proud of that person and be proud of what you do. The second part is how to focus, because focus is hard. We live in this society, we're constantly exposed to TikTok, YouTube videos. How can you keep your focus? Your focus you have to see as a muscle you can train and become better in over time. A study has shown that by just practicing on your focus for just 12 minutes a day will have tremendous effects. Let me tell you what the results are for just practicing your focus for 12 minutes. It increases your focus, your well-being, improve productivity, performance, and experiencing the present moment. If practicing your focus for trading is not worth it, then I don't know what is. How to do this? It's meditation. It's very easy. Just focus on your breath. Your mind wanders off, you bring it back to your breath. Whenever your thoughts come to your head, bring it back. And the action of bringing your thoughts back, that is how you strengthen your focus muscles. But the fun thing is, you can practice meditation with any task you do. When you eat, don't think of anything else. Just focus on the flavors. You will eat slower, you enjoy it longer. When you talk with someone, try to listen, focus and understand. I know meditation doesn't sound like fun, and for me it didn't sound like fun. When I read the studies, when I saw the proof, I knew this is a habit that I need to start. The science does not lie. Practice meditation if you want to live up to your full potential. And the last habit is your surrounding. Who are your friends? Who do you hang out with? Are those the people who inspire you? Are those the people who do you want to be? If I want to know who you are, I will just look at the people who you surround yourself with. Your surrounding has such a tremendous impact on your life. We have seen it with the surrounding of addiction. If you hang out with 3 millionaires, you will become the 4th one. If you hang out with 3 losers, you will become the 4th one. But then the question is, what can I do if I don't have access to the people who I want to become? There are 3 things you can do. First thing is consume their content. Read their books, listen to their audiobooks, watch their videos. In that way you also adopt their mindset. And you start to think differently. For this exact reason, I started my own trading community. It's called the Trading Tribe. Link is in the description. It's pretty new, but I am there and I'm dedicated for people who are successful and people who want to be successful. So join me there, and if you really want to know how you can implement these habits, you have to watch this video so you can learn from the best traders in the world.